Chase Chrisley speaks out. Family secrets exposed. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. The lights that once shimmered around the Chrisley name have dimmed, replaced by a heavy stillness that settled over the family like dust gathering in an abandoned mansion. Gone are the days of reality show glamour, the cheeky one-liners and polished portraits of domestic perfection. What remains is a legacy reshaped by consequences, silence, and the long shadow of justice. At the center of the emotional storm now stands Chase Chrisley, a son born under the glow of the spotlight, now coming to terms with the raw aftermath of it all. With a gaze hardened by time and reflection, he finally steps forward, not with defiance but with clarity. His life has never truly belonged to him. From childhood to early adulthood, the narrative was never entirely his to write. Cameras followed his laughter, his stumbles, and every awkward moment that would have been private if not for the packaging of fame. Behind the lens, however, a different truth was forming. One that none of them, especially Chase, fully understood until the walls began to crack and then collapse entirely. The fall came swiftly, a cascade of headlines, indictments, courtroom sketches, and the surreal reality of prison gates swallowing the family's central figures. Todd and Julie Chrisley, once the anchors of a televised empire built on personality and Southern charm, were suddenly the faces of a cautionary tale. Fraud, conspiracy, tax evasion, words that once belonged in movies or distant scandals now lived in Chase's home. The son who had once rolled his eyes at his father's control now found himself grasping for answers in a world that made less sense with every passing day. For a long time, Chase said nothing, not out of loyalty or fear, but out of confusion. How does one reconcile the public image of loving parents with the private reality of criminal convictions? How does a son find truth in the silence that followed the verdicts? The hollow sound of the family name being dragged through relentless scrutiny. The quiet was never peaceful. It was heavy, suffocating. And yet, in that silence, Chase began to examine not just the outcome, but everything that led to it. There had always been signs, whispers in hushed family corners, paperwork kept out of sight, calls that felt too intense to be casual. Still, Chase wanted to believe in the story they had all performed so well. The story of hard-earned wealth, spotless ethics, and divine protection from consequence. The reality, he would come to learn, was more complicated. Behind the neatly crafted episodes and curated Instagram posts were choices, shortcuts, and denials that finally demanded accountability. Life changed not just for those who stood trial, but for those left behind. Chase took on responsibilities he never imagined. Bills once managed by a team became his burden. Emotional weight once dispersed among 5 became his to carry. His siblings needed stability, and the cameras that once offered comfort became weapons of voyeurism. The public wanted a villain, a hero, or at least a statement, but Chase had none to give. Not yet. He watched as public opinion shifted. Fans turned to critics. Supporters voiced betrayal. Every online thread dissected his family's downfall like a forensic puzzle, as though understanding each piece could change the outcome. But no tweak could undo what had been done. No theory could alter a prison cell's reality. And so Chase waited. Quietly, painfully, determined not to speak until he understood what he wanted to say. Understanding came slowly. It came through loneliness, financial setbacks, and a crumbling of childhood ideals. It came through visits that blurred joy and heartbreak. It came from the deep discomfort of unlearning what he thought he knew. Chase began to view his parents not as stars or victims or villains, but as people. Flawed. Capable of love and mistakes. Generous and reckless. They had given him so much, and taken just as much without even realizing it. The truth was not clean. It wasn't something he could fold neatly into a public statement or PR campaign. It was jagged, complex, and uncomfortable, but it was his. The truth, as he understood it now, was that his parents made choices that brought real consequences. They stepped too far into a life they couldn't afford to maintain. They masked financial instability with bravado and flashed. They became so invested in being untouchable that they ignored the dangers catching up behind them. Yet Chase's voice wasn't just an indictment. It wasn't a rebuke. It was a reckoning. He had felt angered, yes. He had known disappointment. But he had also felt sorrow. Deep, aching sorrow for what was lost. Not just freedom, but trust. Not just reputation, but unity. The kind of sorrow that forces you to grow in the spaces where others have fallen. In that growth, he found strength. Not the kind shown on magazine covers or red carpets, but the quiet, unshakable strength of someone who has nothing left to hide. He began rebuilding slowly without spectacle. He redefined his ambitions, stepping away from the performance of success and focusing instead on a foundation built on real values: responsibility, transparency, honesty, however uncomfortable it might be. He stepped up for his siblings in ways that required sacrifice. He shielded them where he could and guided them where he must. The Chrisley name no longer carried guarantees. It no longer opened doors without skepticism. But Chase found that it could still stand for something, if only he chose to make it so. The future would not look like the past. The family would never return to the glittering illusion it once wore so well. But perhaps, in time, it could become something truer. Chase never asked for sympathy. What he wanted, what he fought to find, was perspective. A chance to understand how his family went from the pinnacle of fame to the depths of a public downfall. That chance came at great cost, but it brought a rare clarity. His parents are still his parents. He loves them. He mourns the damage they caused. And he accepts the sentence life handed to them. Because in that acceptance lies the only path forward. He now walks it with eyes wide open. Not behind a camera or beneath a spotlight, but out in the open, where every step is his own. The truth behind his parents' sentence isn't a single revelation. It's a collection of moments, failures, and realizations, and it belongs not just to the courts or the press, but to him. A son learning, finally, to live beyond the shadow of a name. All right, are you going to yell the whole time? I'm not going to yell the whole time, but I am going to be enthusiastic about this because I'm excited about this interview. So, Chase is here, one of my longtime friends. Man, we've known each other for a long time. So this is, I knew Rondell before he got his new teeth, okay? All right, we don't have to say all that. We don't have to. They don't even know I got new teeth, man. They just know Rondo. They just think this smile is natural, baby, you know what I mean? How have you been, man? This been I think the last time I interviewed you was in like 2012 or 13 or something back at, I think it was long. Yeah, it was a minute ago, man. I think you guys were on season 3 of Chrissy Knows Best. This is before I got on the show. Oh yeah, I wasn't even on the show yet. Yeah. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So how have you been? And this is only my second interview. This is only okay well with me. You're my second interview. Oh well, since everything happened. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it now. I want to get into that. Let's just go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. And let's go ahead and get to it. Congratulations to your parents getting pardoned. That's an almaz. I know that's an amazing feeling to, have your family all back together again. I know that probably feels really good. How did that let's just go all the way back to the beginning. When they actually got sentenced, how did that make you feel? Like what? I don't think nobody wants to see their parents go to prison. But how were you feeling in that moment? Oh, I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken. It was, I think it's a very, we talked about it, dude. It broke my heart. It broke my family apart. It was a struggle. It was a struggle mentally, emotionally. It's like everything became harder because two of the most important people in my life that care and love about me are now gone for something they didn't even do true, and I know people are going to say, oh, there they did this. They didn't, and they are pardoned, so no, it was rough, man, it was, but now looking back on it, I thank God for the lessons that I've learned from them being away because you. And I talked about it, and I don't think that if they would have went away, like I would have learned how to stand on my own 2 feet. Be a man and like I give all the glory to God. I mean like I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in now as far as businesses and success. And overall, I think I'm a better human being because of that for sure. And you know what, like the Bible says, like God will put his strongest soldiers through. I don't know exactly what it says. I don't know exactly what it says. But you know, like God is not going to give up on you. No, you just got to, we just had to ride it through. And I'm very grateful. But yeah, I tried to find the positives that came out of it. And the positives that came out of it, where I would have never gotten my stuff together, you know. And I think you know, I mean, you know. And I mean, you've seen the change for sure, 100%, 100%. What do you think? How do you think the I've changed since then? Your mind is a little bit sharper. Now, man, you are a man. A man, you've always been a man, but now you're a man, if that makes sense. I mean, stepping up to that plate at that moment in your life. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to have to do that, take care of 2 kids and help out. Oh, well, hey, I got to give Savannah her flowers. I have to like Savannah has did a phenomenal. Savannah truly impressed me. I mean, like Savannah's a fighter. I love her to death. And I have the utmost respect for her and everything that she's doing. Like she surprised me. She really did. And I could not be more proud. Like now your sister, she went hard to get your parents out, like extra hard. And I was reading a lot, like I was keeping up with it. 'Cause you guys, I mean, you guys have helped me out in the past, getting me on the show. And you know, getting your family, get my, you know, thank you to get my career boosted up. And I was reading a lot of comments that it is. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.